Hi, everybody. How you doing? Gloria Moraga here. Late night with Gloria Moraga. Actually, it's early morning, California time. It's almost 1 a.m. I thought it'd be nice to do these late night, early morning lives, see how it goes, see if people are up and about and wanting to talk some politics and hear about some thoughts I have. I'm calling this one Democrats Desert Biden. And, I wanted to do a longer title and say, this is why we fail. This is why we fail. He had a bad night. He was sick and he faltered at the beginning. And yes, he's old, as I told my daughter. No, he's not going to get younger between now and November and now and the end of his term. But the man has been a good president, and the man can do the job. But one by one, it's one thing when like anchors do it, and I worked in TV, and I know a lot of the decisions that are made by television folks are about ratings, and they're about getting that bump and having that, going viral. So I kind of expect it from the TV people to come out, and you expect it from the print media, because you know what, print media is in deep, deep kimchi. They're in deep trouble, and people don't read it, and they're struggling. And they were always, when I worked in television, the print people were always so arrogant about, we don't do TV, we don't do videos. Now, of course, that's so totally changed. But I digress. Why are Democrats so panicked because of Biden's one bad performance? And he's not a performer. Do we really? I mean, I guess in this day and age, we do expect our presidents to be performers. But Trump performed and he lied every second that he was on stage. And I was reading some of the reports from Al Jazeera and from the BBC, and they did kind of a roundup of what other countries thought about the debate. And one country said it was just like a reality show, and that's what it's become. And I see someone said, you've got to face it. Here's what's our alternative? So let's talk about that. Biden said today he can do it, and he's not going to quit. So we're left with very few options. So what we do is we rally round and we support our president. That's what we do. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess, and otherwise, it's going to go to Trump. And who knows what that means? It's really important now that we stick together. It's really important. I think that all America should stick together, but I'm being really naive to even think that. But I think that we stick together. We stop being, grow some spine and stick with it. It's not late for the average voter, but for the machine, it's late. But the average voter, not so. You can see, I mean, a lot of people watch the debate, but it's not going to make a difference. So the question is he fit to be president? Yes. He's got a speech impediment. I've talked about this before. He has a bad foot. So here's what gets me. All right, here's what really gets me. Compare Democrats to Republicans. So Trump's a big liar. Trump's indicted. Trump's attacked a woman in a dressing room. Trump, whatever you want to say, kind of forced himself on Stormy Daniels. And she didn't complain about it. She just took it like a man. And, but it all came out. But he's done all of these things, and it's all proven, it's fact. And the Republicans rally around him. They all just rally around him. Biden, everyone says without question, is a good man. And he has a bad debate. First 20 minutes were bad, and then it got better. And they're all deserting him. Not all. And so here's why I even bring it up to begin with. Republicans are already talking about the 25th Amendment. And I just pulled the quote from the 25th Amendment. The 25th Amendment allows for the Vice President and Cabinet to give their, quote, written declaration that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of the office. And then following that, the Vice President immediately assumes powers as the acting President, according to Section 4 of the 25th Amendment. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson said on Friday, it's Saturday morning now, so I've been working on this, but I have family visiting, so they're all asleep. And so Mike Johnson said on Friday, President Joe Biden's cabinet should be considering invoking the 25th Amendment following Thursday's debate in which Biden fell short of expectations, making the latest call for the amendment to be used to remove the president from office. Oh my God. Okay, this has happened before where the opposing party, says use the 25th. But Kamala Harris is not going to do that. And Joe Biden's cabinet's not going to do it. Have you listened to Pete Buttigieg? Anyway, there's that. And I just think everyone's talking about Joe Biden, but hardly anybody's talking about how many lies Trump spewed and how crazy he was and how he wasn't answering questions properly. But that's not a problem because all of the Republicans rally around Trump and support Trump. So I pulled some quotes from various articles just to share with you guys. And I'm actually recording this live for my podcast. And I see some comments being made, but I'm using my phone because you need to do a couple of these, or you need to do at least one that's so long before you can use your computer. And it was just easier for me right now because I'm trying to be a little quiet. But Joe Biden was a disaster on stage. Trump did not lie. You have so on my YouTube channel, someone said Trump didn't lie. I did a little video, and they, were yelling at me about Nancy Pelosi, that it was her responsibility to call the National Guard. And I've actually pulled a ton of quotes from every newspaper in the world about how that's a lie. Trump is a liar about Pelosi. And actually, the president and the executive branch is responsible for calling out the National Guard. Now, somebody can request the National Guard, but it wasn't Nancy Pelosi's responsibility, ever. So, I know that there's the Maga thing, and they have been, Trump repeats his lies again and again and again and again. And so people have it in their brains that Trump's telling the truth. There was a great woman on, she's a fascist expert, and she says what Trump did and what CNN let him do, and Biden's inability to fact check Trump in real time while he was standing there unable to talk very loud because he has a bad cold. that just plays right into a fascist, a wannabe dictator. And it was like, CNN, yeah, come on, yeah, let's just put the dictator on the air. So yeah, so back to the Democrats are spineless, and Biden had a bad night. And is he old? Yes. And is Trump old? Yes. Is Biden a good man? Yes. Is Trump a bad man? Yes. So you have to make a choice of who you want. Now, people are saying they want Trump. Well, vote. But it's just article after article, and I'm reading from Politico. And here's the headline: WTF. WTF, that's the headline. Panic Dems start looking for alternatives to Biden. And then it quotes three strategists. They panicked over Joe Biden's faltering debate. Nobody panics about Trump. They all just back him up all the way down, to hell. They want to replace Biden on the ticket. Here's what my governor, I live in California, Gavin Newsom said, quote, "You don't turn your back because of one performance," Newsom said. What kind of party does that? So that's what I'm saying right here, right now. What kind of party is the Democratic Party? They're always panicking. And that's why they fail. And it's really important not to fail this November. It's really important for the presidency, but also for the House and the Senate. And I have a bet with somebody that this Senate, Democrats are going to lose the Senate. So it's more important than ever that Democrats win the House. Then it says Biden struggled through most of the debate. Everybody's saying that. Biden did not struggle. He struggled at the beginning of the debate. And that just sent everybody into a tizzy, so nobody bothered to listen to the rest of the time. It was impossible. It was impossible for Biden to fact check Trump in real time. That is not his job. And CNN's going, oh yeah, we expected the candidate, Joe Biden, to fact check. The candidates were supposed to fact check each other. And Biden was trying to do that, but he got absolutely no help whatsoever. Here's the article in Politico goes on, quote, "The 81-year-old president has long faced questions about his fitness for office and the debate, the earliest general election matchup of its kind in modern history." I mean, this is the earliest there's ever been a debate. Had been a gambit by the Biden campaign to reset the narrative, and that failed. What too got me is, I know this is true, Biden was overcoached. They screwed up. His people, they should all be fired. They screwed up. They overcoached him. And you know what? Joe Biden's best when he's just speaking from his heart, when he just talks to people, when he's talking to average, normal people. And he's best when it's just his own thoughts and his own words. And he was overprepared. And the other thing was that they mentioned this on MSNBC. Joy Reid brought it up. Why did they put Biden on the right? They put him stage left, which was our right, because he was looking away from Trump, because he kept looking at the moderators, which was a mistake. Whereas Trump has lots of television experience, and Trump, knew where to look. And Biden was kind of eyes darting around, which was really bad. So the political article goes on, but then this is from the BBC. And I pulled this because they talk about only a small, very small group would be able to talk Joe Biden into ending his run for the president again. And the small group is Joe Biden, his wife, and Joe Biden's sister, Val Biden. That's it. So if those two women get Biden in a room and say, honey, we don't need this. Honey, we got to get out of this race, then that's when it will happen. But otherwise, it's not going to happen. But here's a quote that really got me. And of course, it's anonymous. He's one of the ones that was texting to the Biden campaign, what the F. Quote, our only hope is that he bows out and we have a brokered convention. And I talked about that last night. Or dies. So it's like, Democrats, wow. That's why you fail. Effers. So I've got the BBC article, and Gavin Newsom again being quoted. Gavin Newsom apparently was one of the people that some of these Democrats, these people who donate, were, they called Gavin Newsom and texted his folks and asked if he would run, if he would try to become president and take Joe Biden's place. And he said no. I mean, they didn't even bring it up. Then it was like, no, we don't quit after one bad performance. So today, Saturday, Biden's going to be in ultra wealthy, the Hamptons region of New York, and he's going to have fundraisers there. So if all the fundraisers desert Biden and the big money people desert him, something could happen that would make some of these chicken shit Democrats happy. I don't know if you saw the video. I posted it today, just a clip of Biden. He was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he was talking about the debate. And he said, I know I'm old. I know I don't speak as well as I used to. I don't walk as well as I used to, but I know how to tell the truth, which was a real moment, and the crowd was wild. And then here's my favorite line, because I love this. He says, I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up. And again, I mean, he's an old man, and he isn't quitting. He isn't quitting. So that's where we stand. Those of us who care about this country, who care about democracy, who care about defeating Magas, who are taking away rights in every state. We get knocked down and we have to get back up, and we have to support reality. And right now, Joe Biden is our reality, and we need to support him and rally around him and stay together the way that Republicans support Donald Trump, the way MAGAs support Donald Trump. He does all these things, and he does these things, and it's like, don't put a message up that he didn't lie, or that he's telling the truth about Nancy Pelosi. He's lying. He's lying. I don't take my word for it. There's like a million documents that prove it. I mean, he said last night that the insurrection was just some people who were welcomed into the Capitol. It's like, that's not true. That's a lie. It is a lie. Okay? It's, look at the videos. It's like, oh, the videos are fake. It's like, they're not fake. Ay, 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 ay. Anyway, I wanted to start doing these regularly. I don't know what some of the comments are saying, because I need the bigger screen, or I need my glasses. It was just people walking in and going through desks for the most part. Oh my God. Really? You don't really believe that, please. They pooped on the floors. The cleaning people had to clean it up. I know people who work there still, and it was a disaster. They broke windows. They broke in. They beat up cops. They beat up cops. And I love the Capitol Police. I love them. It wasn't friendly. Look at all of the convictions. And the Supreme Court is making these rulings that are just going to help all the people who broke into that Capitol. And it's like the Supreme Court is, they need to go as well. So I don't know if you guys heard the news today, to switch topics, but Bannon is going to prison Monday. And he's another one. Now, I don't know why he thought, and I want everybody to like get a grip about this. Why did he think the Supreme Court was going to help him? And if Trump does win, and if the country starts changing, and Trump, like 2025 wants, if all of this power is going to go to the executive branch, they're not going to help anyone. Okay? No, Trump doesn't care about anyone but himself, and they're not going to help you. They're not going to help the average person. We're screwed. We're basically screwed. And this Mike Johnson, 25th Amendment. And I don't know. I don't think Jon Stewart's funny to joke about the 25th Amendment. Bannon's going to prison, and he's going to be in prison on the 4th of July, and he's going to be in prison like he's not going to get out until right before voting day. So he's going to miss it all. They didn't help Navarro, and they're not helping Bannon. And we'll see what the Congress is going to do when they come back, because they're still trying to get Biden. And with spineless Democrats turning on Biden because of his one bad performance, it's more important than ever that we stick together as those of us who love the country and care more about the country and put the country before anything else. No, they don't care about average people. It's just the power. When you're up there, it's like, it's crazy. That's why there's like all the graft and corruption. When you're up there, you start to think that you are more important than anybody. It's like, actors and actresses when they think that they're, infallible, and they're not. So, but we have this power. We have this power to vote them out, and we need to use that power. We need to make sure that young people, I'm talking, 20 to 50, 20 to 30, people who are going to vote for the first time. They need to realize how important this is. And that's, our job. So, wow, there's so much I wanted to chat about. That Mike Johnson, wow, and that Steve Bannon, and there's a lot else going on. But I'll try to get my thoughts together and save it for tomorrow. And I don't know. My thought is, Joe Biden's a great guy. He should just let somebody else do it. But here's where we are. We're at this point, and we've got to stick by him. We just do. We have to stick by him the way Republicans stick by, what does Michael Cohen call him? Mandarin Mussolini or Von Schützenpants. They stick by him. They stick by Trump. And we need to do that too. And I think voters are going to do it. I think, first of all, that what was on CNN wasn't a debate. It was not a debate. I don't know what it was, but it was a mess, and it was a disaster, and Biden wasn't helped by his team. But Biden not running is a real long shot. So I think this is what we need to do for right now. We need to pretend that we're Republicans and stand by our man. Or Tammy Wynette, I won't sing. 4 years and I got something got covered up. Um, yeah, Trump was awful too, and you don't see hardly anything at all on Friday about Trump. I mean, he did not answer one question. He had talking points. He stuck to his talking points, and he attacked Joe Biden. So he had the immigrant talking points after he killed that bill, and he had Joe Biden's the worst president in the world, and he repeats it, and then Fox News repeats it, and then all the Republicans repeat it, and then Nancy Pelosi could have helped, you know bullshit. I mean, did you see the live? Did you see her daughter's documentary, Alexander's documentary? Yeah, they needed help. They were calling people and saying, "Please help us." Um, but Trump lies and people believe him, and then he lies again and again and again and again. And once he lies so many times, people just think it's truth. It's really a cult. So yeah, I like doing this at this hour, but probably should start doing it a little earlier hour. I was thinking maybe 9. And I'll post something on my when I decide, but I think for the weekend I might just do late after midnight. I love Biden. He's a really good man. And like personally, if I knew him personally, I'd tell him, what the hell do you need to do this for? But on the other hand, who's going to beat Trump? If we'd had a little more time, we've got lots of good people. I mean, I was never so crazy about our governor, but since he's been acting as a surrogate for Biden, I've just started growing on me. I don't know if you ever read the LA Times, but George Skelton is the political columnist for the Times, and I always read his stuff, and it's like, he's really knocked our governor, and I kind of agree with George. But now it's like, well, we need a younger group of people, and don't knock age. I could quote all the people who were really old that really did great things when they got older. So I'm a late bloomer as well. Uh, Everybody have a great, safe weekend, and I will try to get the hang of this. I know how old. I don't know. Some people are old but they're really smart still. Some people are old and they were never that smart to begin with. Some people are old and they're really physically fit. Some people have never been physically fit. I think Trump's never been physically fit. Um, yeah, it was bad. It wasn't a debate. It was bad, whatever it was. You like Trump? Fine. But I don't think you're going to like fascism in the United States. We're very spoiled. It won't work, but we'll go through hell to get to the other end. So Biden is old. He still rides a bike. He was riding his bike this morning. He still can have jet lag and sit at a table with world leaders. And yeah, now all the world leaders are worried about him. And because of the beginning of the debate, his voice. And Putin is just jumping up and down like Pan, Pan, the devil, and just so happy. So happy. Joe Biden had laryngitis and talked fast, and you couldn't understand him. Well, that should give you a clue. Yeah, he's loving this. No, Joe Biden can walk and chew gum at the same time. Come on. He actually can. Um, No one is scared of old Joe. Here's yeah, let's talk about that. Our military. Our military is the best in the world. I love our military. I love our veterans. When I was in Washington, I covered the Pentagon. And man, oh man, wow. I just we have it. We have it. I don't quite know how we have it because we have it. We have the best fighting machine in the world. And if you think they're not afraid of that, you're wrong. You're wrong. And Joe Biden knows what he's doing. He's not like Trump. He's not going to make deals with the devil. Um, and yeah, they are afraid of us, and they are afraid of Joe Biden. So don't fall for that bullshit because don't disrespect our fighting men and women and our people in uniform. Uh, so there's that. And I thank you all for being here and your comments. And I will try to start using my bigger computer so that I can read the comments without putting on my reading glasses because it's so tiny. And I'll be back tomorrow sometime, probably late night, early morning, because this works really best for me. And I like to gather up all the articles and read all the articles. There's a really good article about what a joke the non-debate debate was from world leaders. That was really good, and the takeaways from each of the countries, what their most important part was, and I'm just still sad about how horrible CNN is. Horrible, horrible, and they don't get it. They think they just did a fine job. They let Trump get away with lying, and our country is in trouble if Trump wins. So, I'm Gloria Moraga, political woman. Please subscribe. Please follow me here and on YouTube. I can always use more help on YouTube, and I appreciate you guys immensely. And I am a political woman. I covered politics as a television reporter in California and in Washington, D.C. for 20 years. And I'm here going to post every day from now until the election and probably to the end of the year. And we'll just see what happens with the election. So take care. Have a great weekend. Be safe.